they're the most impressive team this postseason. They might lose in the next round. I thought there was a good chance they were going to lose in this round. But how can they not be the most impressive team this postseason?
It depends on your definition of impressive.
All right, the other moment everyone has been waiting for. The Edmonton Oilers are in the Western Conference Finals. Back in the Western Conference Finals, they are the hottest team in hockey. They have won 8 of 9 games. They are 16-2 in games 4 through 7 under Chris Knobloch, which made me go to a chair so I could fall out of the chair. That is such a mind-boggling stat. And I said with Nick, there's 3 teams right now where you say, that team is definitely going to win the Stanley Cup. Earlier in the series, Pete, you had your semi-serious, the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup moment. They just eliminated the Golden Knights in 5 games with back-to-back shutouts from Stuart Skinner, won the elimination game with a 1-0 overtime game in which Kasperi Kapanen scored the game-winning goal. We've spoken already about how they're the deepest team in the playoffs offensively so far. Your thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers?
Before I give you any thoughts, I've been holding on to this question since last night, and I've been wanting to ask you, but I wanted to do it on the show. Of the 5-game Edmonton Oilers series that we love, going back to the origins of this show, the 5-game Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames, Battle of Alberta from like a handful of years ago, which we have often described as the longest, craziest 5-game series of all time. Does this 5-game series surpass that in terms of the crazy shit that happened in it?
Yeah, it might. I mean, it's right up there. I mean, it just says that this is what the Oilers do. They play epic 5-game series. How can it be an epic 5-game series? One of the teams didn't even score goals. What's epic about that? I'll tell you what's epic about it. One team, the Oilers scored goals for that other team. That's what happened. And their backup goalie was starting to get amazing. Then he kept himself in a game, got himself hurt. Then they had to put in the starter. The starter's no good, you see. Starter's the best goalie in hockey right now. Don't you get it? It's epic. And it doesn't make sense, but that's what the Oilers are.
Those are my thoughts on this series. It's just, if you told me at the outset of the series that the Oilers are going to win in 5 games against the Vegas Golden Knights, I'd say, damn, that's crazy. But the fact that it happened the way that it did and it looked the way that it did makes it 10 times crazier. You ended this series with back-to-back shutouts from Stuart fucking Skinner. The game-winning goal in overtime in Game 5 came from Kasperi Kapanen. He of healthy scratch 2 games before.
He of Kasperi-ass Klapanen.
Kasperi-ass Klapanen. The last person to score a goal for the Vegas Golden Knights was Leon Draisaitl in Game 3. Like, what are we talking about? How does this team keep winning in the most fucking unhinged ways possible, and it looks different every night? It's crazy.
I hate to do it, but like, this is what friends do. You guys think they're fucking awesome, right? Like, I'm not just being a bobo. They are, like, they're the most impressive team this postseason. They might lose in the next round. I thought there was a good chance they were going to lose in this round, but how can they not be the most impressive team this postseason?
It depends on your definition of impressive, because
exactly what I was going to say.
Because like, it's impressive that they've persevered, but part of the reason that they've had to persevere is because of the shit that they've done to themselves. And that is, and we talked about it last night during the overtime stream, like, to believe in a Stanley Cup winner, for me personally, I need to see teams win in various fashions. And the Oilers have shown me that they can win no matter what the game looks like at any point during the game. They're losing by four goals in the first period. Oilers probably going to win this game. It's 0-0 heading into overtime. Oilers probably going to find a way to win this game. Oh, their backup goaltenders in net. They'll still probably find a way to win all these games. Oh, their starter who became their backup, who is now their starter again, and looks like he kind of sucks. It doesn't matter. They're probably going to win these games.
Yeah, I feel like they're impressive because they're resilient, but I wouldn't say, like, if they end up against the Stars, I'm still going to think the Stars are going to win that series. So I can't say they're the most impressive team in the sense that I think they're the best. But
keep that energy, bitch.
Certainly am going to. But I definitely think their resilience and the way that they manage to win games is more impressive than anybody else in the playoffs.
I think that there's a good chance they play the Stars. I want to see what happens with this Leon Draisaitl situation, because there is a lot of somehow under-discussed storylines this postseason involving the Oilers. One is that, as I tweeted last night, Evan Bouchard went to good defenseman school at some point. I don't know, like, if he was doing night classes, like late in the Kings series. Evan Bouchard has been, I'm not saying that he has been an awesome defenseman. He was
Very good.
outstanding in that round, which he's going to need to be. Although Ekholm's coming back at some point. They're only getting stronger. Amazing. The other thing is that Leon Draisaitl is other than Sasha Barkov, the best defensive forward remaining and the most effective defensive forward remaining. Incredible. I want to see what they're going to put Draisaitl on Rantanen in the conference final and say, here we go. And from there, Dallas is a very deep team, but Edmonton's deeper. So I'm giving them a chance against Dallas. I don't know who I'm picking, but I would not be so quick this time around. And I let you guys pick the Kings. I definitely let you guys pick the Golden Knights. I think that we're a little too excited about the Dallas Stars. I think that what Edmonton is doing right now is something that nobody else is doing. And that's me being a fan, but that's also me spitting facts.
I mean, there's elements that nobody else is doing, that's for sure. And somebody
in Vegas is way fucking better than the Jets.
Edmonton?
Vegas is way better than the Jets.
Yeah.
So
I would agree with that.
Edmonton has had an easier time with a tougher opponent than Dallas might end up having with the Jets.
Right, and the results are more impressive. I mean, we've talked about it, but like the top 5 scorers for Vegas, 0 goals. 0 goals in this series. No goals from Eichel, who I thought Eichel was like the best player on the ice last night. I thought he was really good, but no goals in this series. No goals from Barbashev. No goals from Dorofeev. No goals from Howden. No goals from Brandon Assad. Like, no goals from Tomas Hertl. No goals from like almost all of their top forwards, which is crazy. And somebody in the chat said, like, this feels like the Oilers' balls dropped during this series. And that's exactly how it feels. And we talked about it in round 1. The Kings let the Oilers get off the mat. They had the gun pointed at them, and they didn't shoot the gun. That we knew was going to result at some point in the Oilers finding their stride. It feels like they're hitting their stride, and the scariest part about that is that they still don't have Mattias Ekholm. The Oilers still do not have one of their better, more important defensemen. I know he hasn't been great this season, and we'll see what he looks like when he comes back from injury, if he comes back in the Western Conference Final. But the fact that they're doing all of this and being a shutdown, lockdown team without Mattias Ekholm is unbelievable to me, especially against Vegas.
If they're a shutdown team and they add Mattias Ekholm, that is going to be, and I'm a massive Dallas Stars respecter, but that is going to be very hard. And someone in the chat asked, if Draisaitl marks Rantanen and negates him, then who scores for Dallas? The answer is a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Dallas has plenty, but they don't need Mikko Rantanen to carry them. They might against Edmonton, but they're going to get theirs one way or another. I don't think that Stuart Skinner is going to continue his shutout streak too much longer. Dallas is awesome, but Dallas also sucks defensively, and maybe that's something the Oilers expose. I'm just saying, and I wouldn't be so quick on Dallas versus the Oilers. All I'm saying.
I mean, goaltending might actually be an issue in the Western Conference Final. Jake Ottinger looks really, really good. Adin Hill did not look really, really good for large portions of the series. I believe in Dallas's depth scoring and their ability to have an offensive impact more than what Vegas showed me in this series, which was almost nothing. So, I think it's going to be a great series if those are the two teams that meet in the Western Conference Final again. I'm very excited about it. I would not write Dallas off by any means, but yes, I'm very impressed by what I saw from Edmonton in the series.
And I feel like the other side of that is Hill. I agree that Vegas is better than the Jets, but Connor Hellebuck has been better than Hill. Like I think I just think it's a different like comparison. Like it's going to be a different kind of series when they get there because what the Stars have been going through has been different than what the Oilers have been going through, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the other side of it is Oilers are either playing the Stars or they are playing the red hot Winnipeg Jets. If the Jets
Also
get
true.
through this somehow, then we are talking about the Jets a very different way. And the Jets are a heavy team. They are very tough to play against. So that would present its own challenges. But man, I am just very impressed with what I have seen. That is
I just want
Go
to make
ahead.
it clear. While I do think that the Star, like if I'm having to choose Stars over like Stars versus Oilers, I'm choosing the Stars. By no means am I like locking that in the like I was much more confident about Vegas beating the Oilers than I will be about the Stars beating the Oilers, and we saw how that turned out.
Okay, we're in agreement then. And I don't go into any of these series saying slam dunk. I was pretty sure Oilers were going to beat the Kings, but I just didn't know because we didn't know what the Oilers looked like. And if we had a little more information, we would have been guessing less going into that series. But this would be who fucking knows? Maybe it ends up being a fucking sweep. Maybe the Stars sweep them. But you would think that this would be a war of a rematch.
I mean, did we not all think that the Stars were going to beat the Oilers last year?
I did. I definitely did, yeah.
I was very prepared for it. I was stunned that the Oilers won that series in fewer than 7 games. But that was them teaching us the 16-2 thing, which is, as these series go on, like I can tell you the 2 games that they've lost in games 4 through 7 under Chris Knobloch. It was game 5 against the Canucks in the second round, and it was game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. Other than that, the like dread of they're going to blow it or they're going to let it slip away. I know that they're assholes, but knock on wood, they just don't do that. If there is an opportunity to close a team out, they're going to do it. So I didn't know that back then. I feel like we all didn't know that back then. But yeah, once they had a 3-2 series in that lead in that series, I'm sorry, they were going to close that out. So that's where they are. We need to discuss Connor McDavid after the game because he was asked about the defensive prowess of the team, and he was extra pissy. Sean?
There's been a natural progression over the last couple of years even. Have you seen that, the way that you guys defend and feel more comfortable defending as a group?
I mean, how many times are we going to answer this question, really? Like, honestly, that's frustrating that we keep talking about this. We can defend. We can. We've showed that time and time again. Come into a tough building and win a 1-0 game when it matters most. We can play that way. We can score goals. We can, whatever it takes, we can win games. Yeah.
Do you...
A lot of people in the chat. Please like and subscribe. Every button you can press on YouTube, please do it. We appreciate you. And subscribe everywhere you can. Our Instagrams as well. My guy, Connor McDavid. I understand that you're locked in, but, and I'm not like being like I'm not judging him as a media member or anything, but like, why does that question piss you off?
It's because he didn't get the overtime winner. He was pissed. He didn't have his big moment. He's doing his post-game media. He's like, fuck, they're going to call me Mitch Marner. They're going to say I'm Mitch Marner after this series. I mean, like, I kind of like it. I kind of like my guy being like, job's not done. Don't expect any, like, victory laps from me. Yeah, we played a couple of good defensive games, but it can flip on the switch of the flip of a switch. So I stay locked in, brother.
It also
keep defending.
It also strikes me as kind of like a cat. Like, he's a forward, obviously, and while defense is everyone's responsibility, like, it struck me as kind of him defending his defensemen as like these guys are obviously good hockey players. Stop asking about the fucking defense, which I can respect from a captain.
Someone in the chat says McDavid just wants a break from the media. Respectfully, McDavid does a lot less media than someone of his stature should. The Oilers are very good to their star players about making sure they don't do more than they have to. So I'm not like getting on him. I just think it's so like he was so crusty and ornery. Is he mad that he's like, God, now I got to stick with Stu Skinner or something? He was so mad.
I mean, he was
Could be the
very
best day
defensive
his life.
of Stu Skinner last night too. He said like, hopefully the people that were talking about him can shut up now or something along those lines. It's like, well, I know you weren't talking about him. You don't even follow him on Instagram. Maybe
I
you
was
should
gonna
follow him
say-
on Instagram and people would stop talking about Stu Skinner so much.
Isn't it wild? It seems like just yesterday that was the biggest story in sports. And now it's like, wait, Stu Skinner, he's the best player in the league. What? McDavid doesn't follow him? Who cares? The other day, that was crucial.
I do have to mention, you said earlier that the Dallas Stars suck defensively. And I think that that's a disservice
all
to
relative.
Dallas.
It's
I
all
think
relative.
It's all relative, but you have to acknowledge, like, the next game that the Oilers play, they could be a goddamn disaster defensively.
Of
It's
course.
just the way things go.
I'm not saying the Oilers are better than I'm saying what the Stars are.
I don't think that they suck defensively.
They're again, it's all relative. Like to like what they the Oilers just faced Noah Hannafin, who made the play of his life on that 2-on-1. I think that he made it out of fear.
Oh,
but
that was an
incredible.
unbelievable play.
But you're going against Noah Hannafin, you're going against Alex Pietrangelo, you're going against like real studs. And the Stars are kind of what the Oilers are on defense, which is when they look good, you say, how are they doing that with those guys?
I mean, they just got back Miro, who is like
They have
top
one star
3,
defenseman.
5 defenseman in the league.
Yeah. I'm not comparing them to the Oilers. I'm saying that they
Harley's a stud.
Suck is an exaggeration. But do I think the Oilers can't score against that team? Buddy, I do not.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they definitely can, and they can score against anybody. That's why they're the Oilers. It's just I think this is going to be essentially like a coin toss in this series.
Yes.
Very much looking forward to it.
I don't know who's going to win that series. I believe I was saying that as part of though that like they just played a very, very, very difficult Vegas team and didn't make it look easy, but proved ready for everything with the exception of William Karlsson having the puck in his own zone with 8 seconds left in a game.
We all silly like the mayor.